So yeah, I mean, I played Siphon Wiz over Dumble Fork primarily because I thought it had a better CTM matchup, and I thought the top 16 would, for the majority, would be CTM.
Oh yeah, which it is.
It was a good plan,
Correct.
except
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't make the cut, so it wasn't a good plan.
Yeah, so we've got the bracket here, so we can tell you that Vikash Sharma and Tim Fowler are playing in the winners bracket final. They're going to have a lengthy break after that, regardless of result. The winner of this game we've got on stream is going to play against Theo in the next round, Theo Clifford. And the other game in the losers bracket is Johnny Lockhart against Dave Hoyland, and the winner of that's going to play Chris Dyer, which could very well be a huge crunch match. So, let's see what we're going to start.
Yeah,
off
Hoyland. If Hoyland's playing Dyer, that's on stream.
So we've got turn one install of 3 remotes for Tagore
That is normally a very good sign.
for CTM.
Yeah, for CTM,
Yeah.
certainly. So, Sensei's, bankers, pads, some combination of those, no doubt.
Yeah, that's right. So if he can get, Dave was telling me before the game that if CTM can get access to senses and bankers early, then that's going to cause him real problems. He needs to hope that CTM can't set up quickly.
So I
yeah.
played David in the Swiss, and he beat me as Dyper. I was CTM.
Yeah.
I went for rushing as fast as I could.
So he still won. Did he get all 3 hyperdrivers, or?
He went with 2 hyperdrivers.
Okay.
My mistake was I only put 1 ice on R&D, and sort of I extended slightly on the rush, and he was able to keyhole me 14 times, I think.
Yeah. So he
won.
thinks, so Dave was definitely of the opinion that the Senses and the commercial bank, they were the key pieces.
Yeah, oh yeah,
so
that's huge.
If Senses is turn 1, he said it's going to be it's hard for him to win this game.
But Tagore needs to recognise he needs to put a remote and score as well. I think
If he doesn't rush, if he gives him too much time, then he will just lose.
I think after playing David, the thing to do is rush to the point where it's not safe anymore.
But, yeah.
So you probably can't rush to 7 depending on your draw. I mean, if your draw's good enough, you can. But then you need to make sure the R&D is defended.
Dave will go if it's mathematically possible for you to win next turn.
Yes, he
so
does
it doesn't
that.
matter if he has it. So
That's
if you
right,
get
yeah.
to 5 or even sometimes 4 and he thinks you can do shenanigans or
Yeah.
whatever it is, he will just go.
Yeah.
And once he's gone, you have some time because he struggles to win after that. But he's also rushing. He's put hyperdriver down, no leprechaun, nothing. It's just
It's a
on
bit
the
shame.
table.
He's a bit shame he had to put a hyperdrive down without a leprechaun, because that's obviously taking up 3 memory, which is huge.
2 fan sites early though.
Yeah, he's got 2 fan sites, which is going to help him a lot.
It's a
Yeah.
massive part of this deck, the fan site.
I wonder if Tagore's solution is to, as the solution for most people, is just to put as much ice as possible on R&D. If you can get to about 5 or 6, you can cause him real problems.
Yeah.
But he's got a Faust. Well, let's talk about Dave's plan here. So Tagore's on CTM, and there's not a lot interesting about that. But Dave's plan is Dyper. So it's keyhole, DDoS, false echo, combo stuff. He's actually got Apocalypse, so if he can get into R&D even once, he has a Faust. So if he can get in even once, he can Apocalypse the whole board.
Yeah, and the Chameleon.
And then he can install the keyhole and go to town. He'll install as many hyperdrivers and all-nighters as possible and have them up to 16 clicks to keyhole, and then he'll win, probably.
I mean, if he can get into all 3 centrals just once, then he wins that turn, I think, because he'll APOC. Which also means that if he somehow doesn't win, he's crippled his opponent, so he can flukily maybe grind out the last 2 points later on as well. So, because when you've got a keyhole down, that's good. The problem that I think CTM will have over, say, the last game we watched Dave play against Hot Tubs is that even if he goes for the big ice plan, Tagore has to have enough money to res that ice.
Yeah.
So Dave does actually run now and let you res ice sometimes. The new version does that.
Yeah.
It's not only full psycho DDoS, and therefore, I mean, obviously things like resistors are amazing and stuff like that, but if they're like toll boost, that's going to be a problem.
So Tagore, I think, has had that 3rd remote there for a while now, right? So there's not a lot that can be.
I feel like as a Jackson...
I think he uses the Jackson to draw, so that
CBS?
it could be a breaking news.
I mean, would he keep the Jackson against Dyper specifically, though?
No,
because
I think he might. Yeah, I think you would use it to power draw to.
Actually, you might be right, because obviously the CTM ability, like Dave against a normal deck will go after a Jackson aggressively to trash it, because Jackson is one of the cards that is hosted in. But
so it's a Sansa.
So it's Sansa.
Yeah,
And
that
scored
makes
Beal. Okay.
So Tagore has a lot of it in hand.
Fansite's triggered though, so when we see an artist colony go down,
So
Dave will be able to accelerate.
If not Tagore can get a breaking news, we'll see an eye off, right? I mean, that could potentially be.
He sells the cash though. Dave's got enough money to probably trash this, beat the trace, and not get hard hittings. Has he got enough? He's 5 credits for Tagore.
Does he do that? Because I've seen him just ignore everything but the combo more than once before.
Sure, if you leave Sansan up, there's a real threat that
I think
Tagore
will
will
be
just,
on 5 points very
especially
soon.
with Sensi. You might consider trashing Sensi maybe.
Yeah.
Because he can draw 4 cards, and if there's an agenda in one of them, he's just going to score it. So it really shortens the clock on Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It seems madness not to trash it, but I've seen him not trash before if he's close to combo.
Which currently he's not, right? He's got
one
hyperdrive. He hasn't got a bookmark, so he hasn't got any of the pieces.
He needs the hardest economy as well. Just needs to go with the fan side.
Yeah, very interesting.
So I think he's having to think here, isn't he?
Yeah, I think this is a really key decision. What he does here, like, I mean,
I don't know how bad it is if he gets hard hit used for his combo, regardless of what CTM can do. So he has trashed his answer.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad move. He might consider trashing the Sensi. There's a hard hit use risk here, as we see that in fact Tagore does have a BL in hand.
And a hard hit use.
He just drew a hard hit use, so
I think he's got sweeps. The money differential isn't actually that great. I think it was Tagore on 7.
I mean, he's got the money to clear the
huge.
tags at least, and he's got casts as well, and I don't know. He's got artist economy, so I'm not sure what cards he could fetch that'd be useful. But
if Tagore goes down to 0, if Dave is in a position to pop one hyperdriver, would he go for that? If he had a keyhole, like
I think he'd be reluctant to.
Resistor would be a problem, right?
Yeah, that's just fair. Yeah.
You can pay through a trace if he's got money, maybe resistor, but
So he's not hard hitting using. I think
he didn't.
That was an interesting decision.
I think it was an economical decision.
Yeah.
Dave has enough. If David finished a turn on 5 credits, say, then I think he might.
He could also just sell something. He gets cast money, and then he could sell the cast for another 3.
Yeah,
get 5 more money.
If he was desperate, he could have done that.
So,
You're right. Yeah. So it wouldn't necessarily be too much of a step back for Dave. He'd basically lose a turn, but it would definitely be a step back for Tagore. So I wonder what's in this remote. Any thoughts?
Sansan or an agenda. One of those two.
I'm not sure
Could
if
be an
Tagore's
agenda,
running 2
actually.
or 1 Sansans, but most lists are on 1.
Really? Interesting.
That is interesting, actually. In BN, it's influence though, right?
It is influence, yeah.
And it's not, I suppose it's not primary plan either.
So essentially you're running 2 bankers. The original list the big boy wrote had 3 bankers. So lots of people dropped the 3rd banker for 2 influence, which Sansan and a Christian Grid, or Sansan and a Temple, or 2 Sansans.
Yeah. Okay.
That's generally the builds.
I like the 2 Sansan because getting the breaking news can be so key.
Yeah.
I mean, but often if you're not running that many Sansans, that's why I suppose some only run 1 EOI, because the breaking news EOI combo sort of relies on Sansan a little bit. Commercial.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, so Commercial Bankers Group, he started stacking remotes.
But Leprechaun and SMC
Yeah,
means that we're not far off, actually.
Yeah, if he has a
He's
hyper
for the
drive,
artist colony.
He
2
can
artist
install
colonies,
an
money
SMC.
is his main problem.
So he's going to score a bill out behind that ice. I mean, we're not too far off. If he's got a
it's really
bookmark,
close.
Yeah, we're almost ready.
if he draws a hyperdriver, he can put it on the Leprechaun. He can SMC for the 2nd. He needs a false echo and a DDoS, but he could well have those in hand by now to get into R&D. And he can consider keyholing without the. Without the Apocalypse.
So why is the bookmark so essential for the post-apocalypse to have cards?
There's a lot of pieces. If he needs to use Faust, then he can fill his hand with he used the bookmark to store cards between turns as well, because there's a lot of pieces he might need depending on what he sees, like what ice might get rezzed.
Okay.
He
told me
he
that
doesn't need the bookmark, but it helps him a lot to float a lot of cards.
He told me he has no wraparound solution other than Faust, which I'm not sure if he was lying to me, because we might have played, but that could be a problem.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry. Got to update the score. Too engrossed. So we've got the 2nd hyperdriver down, and there's an SMC on that Leprechaun. So he's in a position to. It's not going to reach. He's in a position to get the 3rd hyperdriver pretty much at will. I wonder.
And you can get 2 or whatever he wants with the artist colony.
Yeah, he's got no.
Put down a 2nd artist
all-nighters.
colony.
He's got 1 all-nighter down. Sorry, I was questioned by the judges, but I don't know the answer. Tagore might be cheating. Would you put it beyond him? No, apparently we've got issues on the stream. We'll find out.
Someone comment if the stream is on or off. I know we're getting some sort of temperamental issues. Just check that everything's cool my end.
I don't believe anything. I think we're all right.
Okay.
If you can't hear us, then tell us.
Well, Brendan is typing, so...
Yeah, it's, Brendan, you just chat to me in Slack. You two comment on the game. I'll just chat away to you.
All right, Brendan's threatening us. Okay, I think we're okay. So I'm not sure how close Dave is. It's tough to tell because he can hide some of these things. Although, actually, now that... Right, this is relevant. Now that Tagore's on 5 points, then... he can score, right? He hasn't. He probably doesn't have Baltics.
Did he fast advance that, or has he got another click to...
I think he's just scored it.
No, I'm not sure. I think he's got
he might have
click.
left it behind things. He might have a click to spare. Okay, so we're going to get some artist colony. What's going to get?
So Dave's going to go next turn, right?
Natch. Amazing. That's an amazing.
Wait a minute.
He can't... Well, okay, so Tagore never gave him a window after the first advance.
So he's doing it after one advance. Yeah. Fetching it. Okay, all right, because he knew it was a risk. So he can prevent the tags, right?
Yeah, just don't know when you're activating it.
Yeah, he can prevent the tags, yeah. He cost him 4 credits, but it's not a problem.
I think that's probably the right decision. I mean, if there's an all-seeing eye, that's it, right?
Yeah, it's definitely the right decision. I mean, it doesn't cost him a lot.
It cost him 4 credits and one of his artist colonies. We don't know whether he needs both those artist colonies. Depends whether what he's got in hand, right?
I mean, that's true, yeah.
So he told me before this game that Natch is actually really key to the CTM matchup because he can't accept tags, he can't risk all-seeing eye, that kind of thing, while he's trying to set up. So I don't think... I think he would have got a Natch if there was a risk of a breaking news.
I think he has one more setup turn, right?
Although he didn't do it before, so yeah.
There's one more turn to set up before he has to go.
Yeah, possibly so. I mean, or he has to start checking face-down cards. There's surely no chance there's a Biotic in this list, but...
yeah, there's not a Biotic,
but there'll be Sansans and that kind of thing, so yeah. I agree.
Well, he definitely has one more turn, so he should wait.
He should definitely wait.
There is a new remote just been put down, I think, the last click, so he might want to check that, because it can't really harm to spend a click to check that. That's the only way. That's the only way he loses his turn.
Yeah, unless there's a risk of hard-hitting news.
Yeah, but if he's going to go the turn after,
that's true, doesn't it?
I mean, well, resistor it maybe matters, I suppose. But Tagore doesn't really want to be hard-hitting news, and he wants to be scoring and winning.
It's interesting. It's a close one. They both know the matchup, and so they're both doing what they know needs to be done. So anyway, so it's down to how many pieces Dave has, and I hope Dave takes the risk to wait a turn because he can. He certainly can. Like, I'm sure he can. He could waste a click checking that remote if he wants to.
Well, Tagore doesn't have a lot to lose by putting an agenda there.
Or
it's quite high
it could be the second Sansan maybe or something that would also lose in the game.
That
so
is true, yeah.
I think Dave should check
checking,
that.
right?
But if he checks that and he hasn't popped the hyperdriver, then he needs to trash a Sansan.
That is true. But he has, so he needs the money to combo as well, doesn't he?
And needs the money for, so I think you run that and you trash it if it's a Sansan and nothing else. And then you do everything you can do to set up. And then you combo. No, don't do it, Dave. You've got a turn. You've got a turn.
But if he thinks that, if he's thinking he can Faust through the last piece of ice, he only needs to bounce one. That might be his thought.
If he's got the full combo, why not go?
Yeah, he's also got one of Chameleon in this deck if he needs it. So if he can spare the SMC or the Artist Colony, then he can use that for the Chameleon. Otherwise, you have to install it now, and you don't want to. It won't work against wraparound, that kind of thing, obviously.
Yeah. So how is he gonna? He's got 2 full secos or 1?
So
one full secco.
How would he bounce?
He'll have clench it. You can clench it full secco.
He also has again. Or he'll just break them all and then a lay pop.
And of course he needs DDoS as well.
So I don't think he's quite ready.
Yes. So he's not going this turn. So he's basically, I think he's taking the risk that's not a Sansan or an agenda, of course. He's going to check it.
Yeah, it's Jackson.
Jackson, okay. I mean, that's not bad on clear
that's
from the
perfect,
board, though,
and he's
right?
cleared it.
Yeah.
So Dave made exactly the right decision there by
no,
not going.
He might actually let Dave trash it and risk the tag. So he will, in fact. So now he's got to contest the tag. He has no link. He does have Natch, though. I guess you just Natch it.
You can't.
He might have already done that.
You
can't avoid it.
Oh, of course you can't.
Stupid rule. Why is that a thing?
It wasn't
Yeah, okay.
powerful enough.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So I guess clear the tag, sure.
And he took some credits.
No, I think he cleared the tag. I think he took exchange. There are 2 tags on Tagore's side, but I'm pretty sure Dave isn't tagged.
No, that's not. That's the breaking news tags that
But
Tagore's going to give him.
that's it. But I'm pretty sure they've been cleared. They got cleared.
So if Tagore's got an interest decision, he must be scared.
Okay, all right. So he's just going to continue to ice up. That's not a bad move. I've had games against Dave where I've known he's going to go in the next turn or 2. So I just spend a turn installing 3 ice and R&D, and that it really annoys him.
If that is a Sansan, then he's in trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm surprised he didn't put that behind. If he puts that behind ice, Dave goes for sure.
I think the fact that it's not behind the ice suggests it's not Sansan and obviously not an agenda. If you're Tagore now and you have an agenda in hand, you might consider just jamming it behind the ice.
Yeah.
Is it a bit of a giveaway?
I think you don't have a lot to lose because
true,
you're quite far
except
ahead.
except if he does manage to pull off an APOC, then that will be in the bin.
But you probably lost anyway at that point.
True.
Sure, but why didn't he put any of those things behind the ice simply for making him go? Like, I think he goes if you put anything behind the ice. So even if it's a sensates, it doesn't even matter if it doesn't fight. Just puts him behind the ice to make Dave go.
This is the good thing about Dave's deck, because you don't know if you want him to go or not. Because you don't know if he can get in or not. It was a bill when he wins.
It was a bill, okay, and he didn't check it.
Well, that's
so
a good play.
Dave took the risk that the remote snuck out neither or agenda or Sansan. So he didn't get the opportunity. Let's see what ice. So he got a wrap around the inside. That's pretty clutch actually, because the inside ice needs to be high strength in the run to cause fouls.
What was the inside piece?
As a wrap,
Right.
which obviously causes problems for fouls.
So the answer was Joey, because it was an agenda and he didn't want to.
He didn't want him to go. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, all right, Reynolds bluff.
But the way Dave normally plays it, I'm surprised Dave didn't do his thing of check, then do his 2 clicks, check, because Dave's normally so careful with this deck, like overly careful sometimes, that I'm surprised Tagore went for that, but well played, because it worked out. It was a great idea. So
well played to Tagore. So he's going to progress in the loser bracket. He's going to play out Theo Clifford next.
So Tagore v Theo.
Tagore v Theo is one of the games. I'm not sure what happened in the winners bracket game.
I've just been told, unfortunately, Tim lost.
So Tim lost, so he's going to wait for a little while. And Vikash Sharma's going to wait for he's already got a seat in the final. The other losers bracket game is between Johnny Lockhart and Dave Hoyland.
We'll probably have the winner of Dave and Johnny versus Chris Dyer. That'll be the next match on stream.
So that'll be the stream. We'll find out what the result was.
Tim is waiting in for the losers final, and Vikesh is in the winners.
So Tim's got
is already in the grand final.
Tim's got like an hour break, and Vikesh has got like an hour and a half break. So they've got a lengthy break. So we'll find out what happens to Johnny and Dave Hoyland, and we'll probably stream the winner of that game versus Chris Dyer next. We'll see you very shortly.